Hello, my name is Lee Goodwin. I'm a Maryland-based fine art photographer, and I'm here to talk to you today about my photography exhibit, Lights, Action, Camera, Nighttime on the Midway. If there is any common theme to my photographic art, it is the use of time as an artistic medium. And by that I mean I take long exposure photographs, either at night using low ISOs on my camera, or during the day using dark neutral density filters so that I can achieve long exposures. What this lets me do is to blur time and show features of my subjects that might not be obvious in real time. The flow of water over a waterfall, the shimmering reflection of water in a river or in a harbor at night, or the lights in a Midway, which are the subject of this exhibit. And this exhibit consists of photos that I've taken over many years at a variety of fairs in and around the Mid-Atlantic area, mostly in Maryland. They try to capture the feel of being at the fair through the use of long exposure photography. And when I say long exposure, in this case, I'm not talking about 30 seconds or a minute and a half, but exposures that are really tailored to the subject matter that I'm photographing. For example, if I'm photographing a Ferris wheel, I'll use a relatively short exposure, and by that I mean about a second, maybe half a second, because if you expose for too long, the way the lights on the Ferris wheel work, you won't get the interesting patterns that you see in some of these photographs. You'll basically get a blur of white light. But for other photographs, I'll use much longer exposures, maybe up to 4 seconds, in order to catch the swirl of lights as they go back and forth as the rides move around. I'm also trying to capture the feel of the movement of the people. I find that if I take a picture where the people are all standing still and very static, it doesn't have the same interest for me as a photograph where you can sense people moving. And if you're interested in trying to make photographs like this, it's really not all that difficult. My tools are obviously my digital camera and a tripod and a cable release. Make sure you have a tripod, because otherwise the handheld shake of the camera will give you images that really don't look very good. And make sure you have a cable release so that you're not jarring the camera when you push down the shutter. And then find an image that looks interesting to you, compose it and shoot. And the nice thing about digital photography is that you don't have to wait until you go to the darkroom to print the image, see how it comes out. You can look on the back of the camera and get an instant feedback on whether the images that you're taking are to your liking, whether maybe you need to have a longer exposure or a shorter exposure, or maybe change the angle that you're viewing the subject matter. Go out and experiment. I've been asked what other kinds of subjects I photograph with long exposures to utilize this technique, and I use this a lot. One place I like to photograph is Great Falls. Great Falls Park in Maryland is a beautiful setting. Other subjects that I've photographed include the Chesapeake Bay in Baltimore Harbor, in Annapolis, and for that I'll use much longer exposures. I'm trying to get the shimmering water, the reflected lights of the city against the water. I hope you've enjoyed these thoughts about my exhibit, and I certainly hope you'll have a chance to see it online, and hopefully someday when the libraries reopen, you'll get a chance to see it in person. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.